Welcome back, everyone. This is LDB Basketball. We celebrate basketball culture and everyone who contributed to the game. Today we have Tyler from No Clue Podcast. Thank you for coming. How you doing today?
Good man. How's everybody doing?
Good, man. Just living life.
So we're doing good,
Good,
doing
good,
good.
good.
So
Yeah.
each
All
episode
right.
of our podcast, man, we like to talk about everybody's I guess childhood playing basketball and stuff. So how'd you get into that?
Man, I mean, everybody's story is a good story, right? With basketball. My dad played basketball growing up too. He went to college, played basketball in college, played a little bit of pro basketball, and as a kid, I was growing up in. I was born in Miami, and growing up, I hated basketball, man. I hated
Mm-hmm.
it. I was not good at it. I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Baseball was actually my game at first, and then over time, man, I started watching the Lakers. Lakers were my team at the time. Started watching Kobe, um, the Lakers and Kings series. I used to love those. I used to love Mike Bibby too, and I just grew a passion for it, man. Once I picked it up, I couldn't put it down. Just like that. Played all through high school. Played a little bit in college, and
Mm-hmm.
this is my life after that.
How was
Now I
your
talk about it
experience?
every week.
How was your experience playing in high school? How was that for you?
Uh, well, I moved around in high school, so I went to three different high schools playing. But my last high school, man, it was good, man. I was a good player. Got 1,000 points, state championship.
Mm-hmm.
Went to the state championship 2 years in a row. It was good, good stuff. It was fun. I loved it.
That's tough. So how'd you transfer over to playing basketball in college? Were you being scouted out, or were you like a walk on?
Uh, well, I was scouted out from a lot of small schools, and I was gonna I was gonna take the option of being a walk on in college, but
Mhm.
I ended up just taking the scholarship money, man, going to a small school.
I
Just
got you.
had to do what I had to do at the time, you know.
Yeah, I mean basketball is basketball, man.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, yep.
And so when you're in college, did you develop that passion for like journalism and podcasting, or was that like kind of after you got done playing basketball?
Uh, it was probably after.
Hmm.
I always felt like I wanted to share my views about basketball when I was playing, but um, my co-host on the No Clue podcast, he actually played with me in college. Um, Both of us just we would talk basketball, and we happened to be the guys who felt we were right more often. You kick it with your boys, your teammates. You always talk in the game, right?
Yeah,
And
Yep, yep.
we just felt like we had the best opinion, so we said we should just share our opinions. That's how it goes, I guess.
true that. I was just watching the episode talking about the trio in Brooklyn. I
Yeah,
liked it.
yeah,
I like that one. I'm
yep.
glad I found out about you guys. You got to decide.
Yeah, so kind of touch on like you met Kobe as a kid. So talk about that moment. I never got the chance to meet Kobe, but I saw him play in person. So talk about that moment when you met Kobe.
Man, so when my dad played a little bit in the pros, Phil Jackson was actually his coach. So him and Phil just kind of kept their relationship for a while. So I lived in Dallas, Texas at the time. So Lakers would come in town. We would get tickets probably every other year at that point. But for some reason, I don't remember why we got to meet the team this time. I was only like maybe fifth grade, I wouldn't say. And I remember I had my jersey on, my Lakers jersey, and and I got everyone, all the whole team used to come out first. Kobe was always the last one, right? And just that anticipation I was building, right? Bynum came out, he signed. Sasha Vujacic came out, he signed. I was like, man, what's taking Kobe so long, man? I don't really care about these guys. Like, I got the little signed hat, that's cool.
Yeah.
And as a kid, you don't think about with the autographs, like the autographs being valuable doesn't really matter to you back then. But
Hmm.
like once you see the player you want to see, man, it was incredible, man. He's as cool as you imagine. He really is. You know, he, uh, I can't remember everything he said, but it's just like, what's going on, big man? You
Hmm.
know, you enjoy the game, just cool stuff. just cool, man. And it was watching him play is an experience. With meeting him and knowing that he's as cool as you think he is
Yeah.
was worth it. Yeah. They say never meet your idols. That was the best I could ask for, meeting my idol at that
Mm-hmm.
time.
Man,
That's
that's
tough.
dope.
If you don't
Yeah.
mind me asking, who was your father? You said you played in a professional league and stuff, so people watching could find out who it was.
Well, he at the time back then he was more of like a he didn't get drafted. He
Mm-hmm.
played for the Knicks. The Knicks like you know like preseason summer league. He didn't get a lot of time on the Knicks roster. Back
Mm-hmm.
then it was like the G League kind of thing where they would
Hmm.
filter the guys in and out and
That's
stuff like
still a
that.
big deal, though. That's
Yeah,
far. It's
yeah,
tough.
Yeah.
Not many people get into that.
yeah. It's hard, and they traded his rights to Boston,
Mm-hmm.
to the Celtics at the time, and he had just met my mom, so he gave it up. Just got married right after that, and that was it. His name's Fred Daniels. For
Fred
anyone
Daniels.
wondering,
Okay.
you probably find his college stuff more than his, pro stuff, obviously.
I mean, we like to talk about the culture, everybody that was in it, so we want to make sure everybody gets a little
Yeah,
history
yeah,
out there.
yeah, yep,
Go ahead,
yep.
Assad.
Okay, so now we're gonna talk about a little bit about basketball. So, which team are you liking the most, and who you think is your,
He's
you
gonna be the
know,
Lakers.
man? But yeah, who you like coming out, the West or the East?
It's hard to see anyone beating the Lakers
Oh my
right
gosh.
now. Um,
Even the Nets.
Clippers are playing good ball. Jazz are playing good ball, but when it comes down to the playoffs, man, I I gotta say the Lakers coming out the West. When it comes to the East is a toss up this year because the teams you think you have confidence in
Mm-hmm.
surprise you and take your confidence away. You know what I'm saying? Celtics, you think the Celtics got it. Come to the playoffs, they changed. Miami doesn't look good this year. Toronto doesn't look good this year. Brooklyn doesn't play defense.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to say I'm confident in Philly this year, man. I'm
Philly.
gonna go with
Okay.
Philly. Yeah, Milwaukee,
Mm-hmm.
the playoffs. I
Milwaukee.
think.
Yeah, playoffs are not. They're not doing
Yeah, they
nothing.
iffy,
Yeah,
man. They still missing one
yeah,
piece to me.
But Philly is looking like a different team this year with Seth Curry too on that team.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a huge
yep.
pickup, especially with Danny Green, and then you got Dwight Howard as a
Mm-hmm.
backup to Joel. That was a great. Yeah, they did a great job in the offseason. You got a young point guard, Tyron Maxey.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I like
yep.
that. Yeah, I see Philly could beat the Nets, but I think the Nets need rim protectors. I feel like they need some more defenders. They signed Iman Shumpert, which is good,
They
but
need
they
to get a
need
Jared Allen back. To be honest.
yeah, it's very hard to
Yeah,
come by. I heard like Andre Drummond might get bought out by the Cavaliers, or JaVale McGee might get waived. So you know, I just think they're missing a few pieces, and I'm kind of like wondering how well they would play in the fourth quarter. In the playoff series, who would take the last shot.
yeah. And we already got Kyrie's answer on that, right? But the
Yep.
thing is, the Nets, they I want them to get more depth, but will they use the depth is the problem, right? Because they think they got the three guys that'll probably average 75 points a game for the rest of the year, I would say. And then, who else gets shots? You see the games where other guys get shots and they don't really play that well. And you think, well, is just Harden taking 30 shots and Kyrie taking 30 shots going to be the winning formula for them? And it doesn't look like it, right? The
Uh,
two of their losses are to the worst team in the league. And
Hmm.
it's not good. I mean, Harden went there either time, but Harden comes in and he gets 10 assists, but he gets 5 turnovers. You know, who knows? Who knows?
do you
And
think
speak.
anybody's? Oh, my bad. Assad. Let me ask this question real quick. Do you think anybody's competing with the Lakers in the playoffs? To be honest, it's looking kind of scary in the NBA. What about the Clippers? Do you think they could match up with the Lakers?
I think the Clippers got a better shot this year because they're playing a little bit different. I think Paul George is getting a lot more shots this year. I think adding Batum adds more length to them, so they don't have to just focus on LeBron and AD. I mean, LeBron, AD don't have to focus on Kawhi and PG. They got another guy long. It's gonna be hard to defend. But at the end of the day, man, no, I don't. I don't think so. It
Man.
What
it would take something crazy.
you think if they get like Alonzo Ball as a pure point guard, think that would change that?
If they use him as a pure point guard, that's the problem, right?
Yeah,
If
coaches don't
they
use him
get
right.
Lonzo Ball, and Kawhi brings the ball up court every time down court again, then it's useless. I think someone like Ball could help them. He might be a little young, but I think he could help them. I think he would make a difference against the Lakers, definitely. Yeah, I do. I think
Okay.
another team, man. I would like the Trailblazers to get it together.
Yeah, Blazers fan too.
Nah,
Yeah,
they
I'm a
fail me
Lillard
every
fan.
year.
I'm a Lillard fan.
Man, they fail me
Lillard
every
fan
year.
all day.
I lost all hope for
Yeah,
the Blazers.
man. I think they need a new coach, but with their team, man, there's no reason why they're not getting it done. It really isn't. They got a killer, probably, the most deadly killer in the league, and just no one else shows up on a consistent basis. That's the
I
problem.
feel like it's the system they run though. They play so much ISO ball, nobody really gets involved. To be honest.
Yeah, like I said, new coaching, new staff, maybe. I think they should be open to trading CJ at this point.
CJ.
What do you
I don't know
think?
how many. I don't know how many times you run into the same issue without making a drastic change.
Right.
I'm calling the Wizards right now. To be honest,
For
I'm
Bradley.
calling for Beal. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. So talk about that situation a little bit. What do you think is going to happen with Bradley Beal?
So I believe, I could be wrong, but I think he has a no trade, so he will pick his destination.
Yep.
But I don't think, I'd be surprised if he goes to the West. I would. And but I do think if the Trailblazers are an option, and they're talking CJ for Bradley, I think Bradley would be open to that. I think he's that kind of competitor. I don't think he's someone who just wants to go win a championship. He has never struck me as that kind of guy. Just go be the fourth option on a stacked team. I've never seen him like that. I think he would go be number 2, number 1, 1B to a 1A like Dame and CJ were. I think Bradley adds a lot to him, man. He's a better defender. He's someone who you can give the ball to. You don't have to have another point guard out there. He's a good playmaker. I think that would be the best case scenario for both teams, for both parties. I think the Wizards get CJ, a great addition, probably get some picks. I think that's a good replacement for Bradley, better than what some of the other teams are offering.
Yeah,
I'm not taking. Yeah, as a Wizards, when you look at it, are the Wizards going to take like Bryn Forbes and DJ Augustine for Bradley Beal?
Nah.
No.
Are they going to take the scraps off the Philly bench? No, they're not. And I don't know what adding Ben Simmons with Westbrook does. I've heard that floating around. I don't know what
That's a
that's going to
disaster.
do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What do you think about that win though? That win last night, Westbrook and Beal.
Yeah. Well, it's saying less for Brooklyn than it is more for Washington. That's the problem.
But do you think that team has potential to like step it up a little bit, or it's just like a little fluke? They won that game. That's it for the season.
The Wizards?
Yeah.
Well, Westbrook's always gonna come after Durant to win the game. You see, that's when he plays his best, right? I don't think it's a fluke. I think they can win more games. I do. I think they can win more games. It's just they have no depth. Their depth is rough, man. They got guys coming in who've never started in the NBA before, starting for them. I think they'll win a couple more games, but this isn't it. This season it's a wash. The season's a wash for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
So what do you think about the rookies so far? The NBA rookies. They had no summer camp, no summer league. So how you liking the rookies so far?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed by, I want to say, every team's like primary rookie, every team's first round pick. I'm impressed by all of them, really. I love what Quickly is doing. Someone that people weren't even sure about. Obviously, LaMelo looks exactly as advertised. He's had some pro experience, so I wasn't expecting him to not be good, but he's still impressing me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see who else is out there. Um, Edwards. Edwards looks really good. I don't understand why the Timberwolves are so bad, but he looks really good.
I think
I,
because
I
Towns
think.
been injured.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Um, Wiseman looks good. Yeah, I think all of them look good, man. That first round, all the first round guys look really good. Instant
Right.
impact guys too.
Right. You got some few steals out of that draft too, looking like,
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
with Quickly. He looked like he's slowly developed. I think Coach Cal does a great job of developing these guards. You got a bunch of all stars he developed. Derrick Rose, to Darren Fox, John Wall, and
Mm-hmm.
now
Mm-hmm.
Jamal Murray. To keep going, but he really do a great job developing guards.
You know one thing I noticed about Kentucky, and I've said this on my podcast a lot. Coach Calipari gets these guys playing with pros already. One thing, we're all hoopers. When you're the man on your team and you go to not being the man on the team, it's tough. It's
Mm-hmm.
tough when you go from taking 40 shots, at your max, taking 20 shots, 30 shots, and you go and saying, all right, you're only going to get maybe 8 shots this game. It's hard to make that adjustment into the league, especially as a guard. So Coach Calipari has these guys used to playing NBA caliber guys every single day. Think about Trae Young played at Oklahoma. No one else on the team's in the league, not one. But you look at Kentucky, you got third string guys, prospects, and playing like that in practice, you get that experience with another guard, NBA caliber guard, checking you for 2 years or so. It's priceless. It is. It is. I think these guys are prepared coming out of Kentucky because of that.
Yeah, I agree. Coach Cal do a great job. Him and Coach Shaq do a great job preparing them for the NBA. Okay, so
Wait,
one last question.
I'm sorry, so I got a question.
What's up, son?
What do you think is going on with Kentucky this year? Do we know this season hasn't been going well? Do you think it's the players or the coaches or just a bad all around experience?
I think I'm gonna sound like a hater on
Mm-hmm.
this though, but Calipari is different from a lot of the coaches, the Roy Williams, Coach K's, Patino's. Calipari just gets the best talent and tries to figure it out once the season comes.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that's not a knock on him because you do what you do, you get the best talent, and hopefully it works out. And I think this year there was no way to get this team to really fit to look like a team. When I watch them, it looks like a bunch of really good players, but I don't see, you got guys who really don't even play a position out there. They kind of do like a 4 out 1 in offense, just
Mm-hmm.
pass it around. Whoever got a mismatch,
Like
just
a
take
bunch
it.
of wings playing out there. No true point guard or a
Send it
real
to the
killer.
Spurs.
Right. Yeah. That's the difference. You see Roy Williams, he'll get guys who aren't even good say, well, I just need a point guard, so I'm just going to get a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
But Calipari says, oh, I got 4 small forwards coming in. All right, we'll figure it out. And
Mm-hmm.
this year it just didn't work out. That's all.
Yeah, it's the same
I
way for
think
all
it's
the
a
blue
good team.
bloods. Yeah,
Yeah.
all the blue bloods are struggling. Duke is struggling. UNC.
Yeah.
I just think it's lack of games have been played because I think it had a lot to do with COVID. So, they didn't really get a lot,
A lot of practice for
practice
playing
time.
time. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's what
No,
I'm
it
saying.
didn't.
That's why I feel like, that's why a lot of players not really doing well. Like a lot of freshmen that we thought was going to do well struggling because like experience and lack of practice.
It's a lot of freshmen this year too. I mean, it when I see Duke and Kentucky play, it seems like there's more freshmen than normal this year. It's just more noticeable, I guess. But they bring in a lot of freshmen this year for not having any practice time. It's tough. Yeah.
It is. So, what's your top 5 all time, NBA players all time?
Oh man. Uh okay. Um you want me to start from 5 to 1 or 1 to 5?
Let's go 1 to 5.
1 to 5? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got my goat. My goat got to be Kobe,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just because the things I've seen him do, man, it's just. And obviously, I'm speaking from a 25-year-old, right? I wasn't alive in the 90s, so I didn't see everything Jordan did, but I see Kobe, and I've never seen a better player before in my life, and that's just what it is. I mean, I don't think I need to
Facts.
explain necessarily why he's number one. I think people know. They know the argument is there.
That's true.
Um, yeah. So then I'll go Jordan, the people's goat, right? I think that's he got to be up there somewhere. He got to be, if not one, then two, right? LeBron, clear. LeBron's established himself as just uh, able to do everything on the court. Point forward, assists, steals, blocks, points, whatever you need. Um, then I got to go Magic, which is 6'9" point guard, true point guard too. And he's another
Mm-hmm.
one of those guys. He could come ask the coach, what do I need to do tonight? You need 10 rebounds, you need 40 points. I'll just go get it done. He's one of those guys. I think he's someone that could fit on any team and immediately make them better. That's just the kind of guy he is.
I agree.
Magic at the 4, and then at 5, I'm gonna say a sleeper that people don't really give credit to, and that's Hakeem Olajuwon.
King.
Devastating shot blocker. Devastating shot blocker. Underrated passer as far as like history goes. People don't give him enough credit for his passing. He was just unstoppable, man. Footwork, some of the greatest footwork ever. When you got Kobe, Shaq, Embiid coming to see you to ask you how to do moves in the post, I mean, come on, who else has that? No one else gets that.
That's facts. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's
Do you
my
think
5. I feel like fair 5.
you think LeBron could ever become the GOAT?
I No, I don't. I think not at this point, and that's just because one, I don't think he has many years left, and it's just he keeps piling on more reasons for him to move down, and that's only because he has so much more help. Granted,
That's what I've been
other
saying.
teams
That's what I've been saying
other
too.
teams are getting better, right?
Right.
Like you look at the Nets and say, okay, well, LeBron has to have help to beat the Nets, right? In theory, but he started the reason why the Nets even did what they did, right? That's all from him. So
Miami
to
days right
me,
there.
yeah, and once you are no longer really the man on the team, it's tough. It's tough to be able to ascend from there after that. I think Anthony Davis is moving into being the focus on the team for most opponents. I think most opponents come to the game thinking, how are we going to stop AD, not how are we going to stop LeBron.
Yeah. Are you concerned about AD so far this year? You kind of have a slow start. Are you concerned about him? Like everybody else, like over exaggerating?
No, no, I don't think so. I think those guys played a lot of games. They didn't have a lot of time off. Me personally, when I played, I was one of those guys that I didn't do conditioning until the season started. Like I was like 5 games in, I'll be in shape by the time we get to the conference games. I was one of those guys. And I mean, AD, it'll come. I think he's coming. He's coming into it. I'm not concerned. He's a pro. He's a legend already to me.
Yeah, I think you think he gonna be like you think he can be better than Tim Duncan. Like I know he probably the most skilled power for all time. So you think he has a chance to be around that range?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think as young as he is, and the things that he can do on the court, and the versatility he has on offense and defense is just it's just something Tim can never do that. I don't think Tim was there. And when you say greatest, will he be accolades wise? Probably not. And it's probably really just because he's playing with LeBron. I think if he had a worse team where he could go out and get triple doubles, he probably would. It would just be like that. I mean, if he had a team where he had to average 35, he probably would. I think
Yeah,
he's one of
he
those
showed it.
guys.
He showed it in New
Yeah,
Orleans, but
yeah,
a lot of people like want to credit LeBron, for just doing it all.
no, no. I won't credit LeBron. Anthony Davis is the real deal. And like I said, the way he plays defense, he comes out can guard a wing easily and makes it tough on everybody, he's complete. He got it all. Got it all.
Okay, one last question before we let you go. Who do you think is going to win MVP? You know, there's a lot of great players. Embiid's playing great. LeBron, of course, Jokic. Who you got MVP?
I'm gonna go with Embiid. I think Embiid's gonna win MVP this year. I think Steph may be an outside shot. I think Steph has it's a lot of games left. Steph may go crazy for the rest of the year. And Jokic is playing good, but I don't think the Nuggets are gonna be very good. Their record is gonna finish very good. So I think Embiid is probably gonna have the better record, and his numbers are gonna show that he's gonna be the reason for their record. So I'm gonna go with Embiid.
And who you got win MVP? You never said it. Who you got?
After watching the NBA games, bro, I gotta say Steph. Like just the way people doubted him. Like I feel like he's one of those players that makes everybody better. You got Damian Lee shooting good. You got Kelly Oubre stepping up now, especially with Draymond coming back. They look like a playoff team to me, to be honest. They look like a sleeper. So
Yeah, that's it. That's the team. That's them and the Spurs is the team you don't want to see in the first round. You know,
yeah. Yeah. The Spurs is definitely a sleeper, man. Their depth is crazy at the guards. Every single guard on the team can give you 20, 30 points if you're, you're not checking them. And the Warriors, I think the rest of the team got to keep playing well.
yeah.
Steph's going to do his thing. If everyone else plays well,